What is going on, guys? So today I'm going to be going over and reviewing all of my ghost hunting equipment and just telling you what I think about it. I know you guys probably want to see me going on ghost hunts and stuff. I will be starting again. Next week's video will be that. I just didn't have time to go out this week, and I apologize, but I do have a lot of really cool videos planned, so stay tuned for that. But for now, let's just get right into this. So to start off, I'm gonna go with the first piece of equipment that I ever had. I made it when I was younger out of coat hangers, and they're pretty cool. They're called dowsing rods. These ones I also just made out of coat hangers. I'm gonna buy better ones eventually, but they do what they're supposed to. They're alright, they don't always work, but when they do, it's cool. So basically, I'll just do an example. You hold them out in front of you, you ask yes or no questions. They'll cross for yes or no, spread apart, and then they should set back. But the weird thing about this is you can feel the energy when you're using them. And when they get pushed, it's like you can feel the pressure at the tips of the dowsing rods. So these, I really like these. I would recommend using them. You could just make them with wire coat hangers. It's super easy and they're really cool. So I would suggest making these. And my next piece of equipment is something I recommend everybody getting. If you're trying to get into ghost hunting, I recommend you get an EMF 100%. It's small, it's not crazy, you can't hear ghosts and stuff through it, but it is one of the best forms of communication and it's so cool when it works. Basically, an EMF, it detects electromagnetic energy, or fields, and ghosts are made up of that. So you hold it out, you ask questions, and when a ghost answers, it'll touch near it and the light will spike up. And when it spikes to red, that's super high energy, so it's really cool when it does that. This is a very good piece of equipment. I recommend you get it first thing. I've had a lot of cool, unexplainable experiences with this thing, and I will continue to bring it to every single investigation. And next is something you wouldn't really expect for ghost hunting. I actually found this method from Sam and Colby. It's just a regular flashlight. Twist on and just twist it to turn it on and off. Now, what you're supposed to do is you twist it to right. Oh, wrong way. Wait, no. You have it on and you twist it right to where it turns off, and you just tap it to turn it on and off. So it's basically just yes or no questions like these, but it's so cool when it works because it's not made for ghost hunting. It's just a regular old flashlight that Sam and Colby made something out of it, and it's really cool. And I really love it. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but again, when it does, it's very cool because it's something you just can't debunk because it's not. There's no switch or buttons on it. It's literally just a twist on and off flashlight. You can find this at a Home Hardware somewhere. So yeah, I would recommend getting one of these too. They're very cool and I love it. And next is one of my favorite pieces of equipment, if not my favorite, that I own. And it is a spirit box. A spirit box, what it does is it rapidly changes through radio stations. You could do it forwards or backwards. I prefer backwards. So it reverses through radio stations super quickly, and what spirits or entities can do is they pick out words from it and they speak through it. So you speak to them through this box. So it's kind of like a walkie-talkie to the dead in a way, and it's really awesome. I love it. I'll just give a little example how it works. You just pull this up, turn it on, and then you start it, and then words will come through. There will be odd times where you get a radio station, but you just ignore that. And you can do so much with this as well. The Estes method, my favorite method of all time, you do with the spirit box. And I say it's 100% worth the money. They are a little pricey, around $120, I think. But they are 100% worth the money. You will always get cool things with it. Now I'm going to be moving on to some equipment that I just recently got and haven't even used in investigation yet, and I'm so excited to use. First, it's a cat toy. It's called a cat ball. Basically what it is, you press this little button here. It'll light up for about 10 seconds. Then when it stops, it'll basically, if it gets touched or something gets like touched like a little near it, it'll light up like or no, you actually have to touch the ball, I guess, but it'll just light up. So it's like motion detecting. But from what I've seen, it's very hard to get these to work in investigations. So my goal is to get some pretty cool stuff with these, because you don't usually find that they work as well as people hope, but I'm gonna make sure I get some cool footage with these. Next, I have an EVP recorder. What it is literally just a voice recorder, but it'll pick up voices that we don't hear. So what you do with this is you record your voice, you ask a question, you have like a 10-second pause between the question, then you ask another one, have a little 10-second pause, giving time for somebody to answer, and then you listen over to the recording, and in that pause, you should hear an answer to your question from someone or something. I haven't used this yet. I'm excited to. I feel like we could get some pretty cool stuff with this. So yeah, I say this would be worth getting because it's pretty cool. And now, this is my last piece of equipment that I have gotten. My most expensive one, and one that I have been wanting for years. And I'm so excited to finally have it. It literally came 2 days ago. And I'm gonna use this as soon as possible for an investigation. And that is a REM pod. If you don't know what a REM pod is, it's just motion detecting. And it has these lights that'll flash and make noise when something is near it. And there's also a temperature change, but it's not just like for little temperature changes, like a drastic change in temperature. Because spirits, their temperature is like way different than the air. Like that's why you can use thermal cameras, which I want to get one day. It'll be like either really hot, mainly they'll be super cold. So this will detect the temperature changes, but I'll just show how it works. You pull up the antenna, little switch on the bottom, you turn it on, and then there's a red button for the temperature. You place it down, and you can also turn up the range to where it's a little farther out. And so if something walks near it, touches it, if you watch any ghost hunting thing like Sam and Colby, or just any ghost hunters, a lot of them will have REM pods. And they always work super well, and they're really cool when they work. And the closer you get, the more crazy it is. So I am incredibly excited to use this in an investigation. It's something I've wanted for so long. Now I thought maybe I could get into some equipment that I would like to have in the future. One thing that I really want, that I've seen a lot of ghost hunters use, is this thing called a music box. It's also a motion detector. It has like 180 degrees, a few feet of detection, and it's this little box. You place it in a direction, like in a doorway or hallway or somewhere where you're investigating, and it'll play this creepy music when something is caught in it. And I think that would be so fun to have and super creepy to use in investigations. So that is one thing that I really want to get. I would also really love an SLS camera. What that is, it's this camera, and with the figures that it sees, it generates like these stick figures. So when it catches spirits, it's just these stick figures that pop up, and you see what it's doing and where it is, and it's super creepy but super cool. The reason I don't have one is they're quite expensive, but down the line I will 100% be getting one. And also just a thermal camera. Those are pretty, again, not something that is used specifically for ghost hunting, but you can use them in investigations. Like you can catch like these faces or this figure that is completely different temperature from the room, and you can even make out facial features sometimes with them, and that's super cool to me, and I would love to have one of those. Another thing I want is an Ovilus. What an Ovilus is, it's this little box that has a screen, and there's words in it, and spirits, what they do is they take the word out of it and generate it into it, and it'll just say the word out loud and show you what it is. And so it's basically a word generator that the spirits use to take the words out of and choose that word that they want it to say. And it's really cool when like it lines up to what you're investigating and stuff, and I would love to have one of those. They're super cool. Again though, they're really expensive. One other thing that I'm kind of skeptical of it working, but I think it would be cool to try out, is a laser grid. It's just this little thing that projects a laser grid onto a wall, and you can supposedly see the movement on the lasers if there's like a spirit, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how that would work because it's not like they're solid objects, so I would be curious to try that out and see how it works. But I am, again, a little skeptical of it, but it's always worth a shot to try something new. Another piece of equipment, I'm not really sure where to find it, but I'm gonna try to. I saw Sam and Colby start using recently is this thing called an EMF rope. It's basically this long rope with little EMF detectors on it, and it lights up with something like walks across it, so you can make a circle, you can just do a line somewhere, see if something walks up to you, and it would just be super cool to use. I don't know how well it would work or how much it would go off, but I think it would be really cool to try out, and I definitely would like that one day. And that's about all the ones that I could think of that I would like to try. If there's any other cool piece of equipment that you guys think I would like, just comment it down below and I'll check it out, and maybe I'll end up getting it. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, I started a skinwalker hunting series. I would recommend go checking out those videos because they're crazy, and my channel is probably going to stick to that for a little bit because I really want to investigate it. And make sure you stay tuned with my videos because they're only going to keep getting better and better, and I have so many great ideas that I think you guys are going to love. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you know when I upload.